If I had to increase a B2B company's book calls by 30% this month and I wasn't allowed to spend a single extra dollar on Google Ads, here's exactly what I would do. Hey, I'm Eddie, founder of Gro.X, a B2B specialized Google Ads agency, and I can tell you this. Most marketers believe the only way to win in Google Ads these days is to spend more and get more clicks. But the B2B brands that are profiting on Google Ads are spending smarter, finding untapped search terms your competitors are ignoring, and re-engineering what happens after the click, like getting rid of the traditional contact us form as well as manual follow-ups. Today, we're going to share every strategy and trick up our sleeve we use to scale our B2B clients without asking them for more ad spend. Let's get right into it. If you're a doctor and an urgent patient comes in from a car crash, you want to cure their biggest injury first to stop the bleeding and further damage rather than picking a random scratch on their elbow and starting there. The same applies to your ad account. You have to stop looking at one thing like average cost per click or conversion rate and start looking at the entire picture. This spreadsheet will help you see that entire picture. If you want it, I'll leave it in the description below. Now, you pay to show your ad for a search term. How many times your ad was shown is your impression. A percentage of prospects click your ad, that's your click-through rate. A percentage of those clicks fill out the form and turn into leads, that's your conversion rate. A percentage of those leads book a call on your sales team calendar, that's your booking rate. And a percentage of those book calls show up to the meeting, that's your show rate. Finally, a percentage of those attended meetings turn into closed revenue. When you look at the whole picture, your job isn't just to get more leads and form fills. Your job is to find the single biggest bottleneck in this entire journey. According to WordStream's 2025 data, the average B2B search ad has a click-through rate of 5.65% and a conversion rate of 5.14%. So if your click-through rate is 1%, that's your highest leverage bottleneck. If your click-through rate is 5%, but your conversion rate is 0.5%, you don't need better ads, you need a better landing page. Because it would be so much easier to get your conversion rates to 1%, which would double your calls, rather than trying to get your booking rates and show rates to be 90%, which are in this case already at 75%. If your click-through rate and conversion rates are both up to par, but the leads that submit the form aren't booking meetings, let's say you only have a 20% booking rate, that's what you should be fixing first. But before we even start fixing the funnel, we need to make sure we're putting the right people in the funnel in the first place, aka reaching the right people with our ads. And to do that, we have to follow the spend. I'm looking for two specific things in your account. First, are we putting our money on the most profitable search terms? If you have ad groups with great conversion metrics but low spend, they need to be pulled out into their own separate campaigns. Why? Because Google allocates budget at the campaign level. If your best performing keywords are trapped in a campaign with other high volume, low converting keywords, they will get starved for budget. So you will have to isolate your winners so you can force Google to spend more budget on them. For example, here I can see this ad group has a very good cost per conversion of $254 at a 6.7% conversion rate, but it's also stuck in the same campaign under the campaign column as this other ad group with a $503 cost per conversion and a much lower conversion rate. In this case, I want to break this $254 and 6.7% conversion rate ad group out into its own campaign so Google Ads spends more budget there. The second question is, are we reaching the right people in the first place? I'm reviewing observation audiences and demographics. I'm looking at age, gender, income brackets. I want to set filters to cost and then cost per conversion. This tells me if a specific segment produces overpriced or expensive conversions compared to other segments and how much budget that segment is eating. As you can see here, the 41 to 50% bracket here is very expensive, but also it's not eating a lot of budget, so that's fine. What we're looking for are segments that produce overpriced conversions and also eats a lot of our budget with irrelevant clicks. If you find a segment like that, you could exclude that segment from a campaign using edit demographics, select a campaign, then select an ad group, and untick the demographic that you don't want to target. Then you would hit save. You can also see what times of the day and the week budget is being wasted. You do this by selecting when and where ads are showed on the left sidebar under Insights and Reports. Then select when ads showed. You can organize this by cost per conversion, which is what I like to do. And if you see specific times where you've spent a lot of money but haven't produced much conversions, you could exclude that audience by going to Ad Schedule, select a campaign, then only add the days that you want to run your ads on, excluding that time where your cost per conversion spikes. You could do the same for location. You would just go back to when and where ads showed, Then you select match locations. This client only runs ads in the US, so we don't have much data here. But if you see certain locations produced excessively expensive cost per conversions and is wasting a lot of budget, that means your most profitable audience is likely not in that location. In that case, under audiences, you select locations. Then select location exclusions. Select a campaign. Then enter the location that you want to exclude. On a smaller budget, it's better to over-index on strict targeting rather than trying to get as many clicks as possible. Once we're sending the right people in the funnel, we can actually start fixing the top of the funnel itself. There are two distinct levers you can pull at the top of the funnel to lower your costs without losing lead quality. Lever number one is finding untapped search terms and keywords your competitors are missing. Lever number two is paying less in the auctions you're already in while getting more relevant prospects to click on your ads. Let's talk about lever number one first, finding untapped search terms. The hard way to run Google Ads is trying to outbid your competitors on the exact same keywords everyone else in the industry is targeting, or relying on the basic people also search for section at the bottom of Google or basic keyword planner suggestions. The smart way is finding the high intent, long tail keywords that other advertisers are missing. Here's the exact AI keyword discovery method we use. We use multiple LLMs like OpenAI, Anthropic, and Gemini and feed them a highly specific framework. We have the AI multiply 3 different pillars together. It takes 14 different search themes like competitor, category, industry, use case, multiplies them by 6 different buyer psychologies like question-based, problem-based, solution-based, or action-oriented, and applies 7 different search modifiers like pricing, comparison, or B2B specific. For example, here, the category search theme would be IT outsourcing, combined by the question psychologies, how much, and then the pricing modifier, which would add cost, which results in how much does IT outsourcing cost. This generates 1,000 to 2,000 highly specific search terms. Then we run that massive list through Google's own database to pull the actual cost per click data. What you're looking for are the low competition, high intent keywords that cost a fraction of your main search terms. I'm doing a video on this soon, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that one. Now, finding cheap keywords is only half the battle. Lever number 2 is paying less for the auctions you're already in and getting more of the right people to click. For this, you need to run a campaign keyword audit. You can do this in the campaigns tab. Select a campaign first. Let's just use this one for now. Then choose the ad group. And as usual, you can organize by cost per conversion by clicking on the column. Now, what you want to do is you want to look for keywords that have a high cost per click compared to your account average or a high cost per conversion. If these are eating the budget of other search terms that are generating conversions, you can pause them for now so more budget can go to these other search terms that are much more efficient. Also, you want to check your quality score, which you can add by clicking on the columns tab here. You can click on modify columns and search quality score here, and just add it that way. Do you have keywords with a quality score below 5? Do you have warnings that say rarely shown due to low quality score? Google's algorithm determines your cost per click based on your ad quality. That means the higher your ad quality, the less you have to pay for a click. So if you want to lower your cost per click without just raising your bids, you have to improve your ad quality score for these keywords. And since Google's ad quality formula is expected click-through rate times ad relevance times landing page experience, you need to improve your ad copy and landing pages to bring down the costs. To fix your click-through rate, your ad copy needs to be outcome focused while maintaining a balance on qualification. So what does that mean? It means you always want to speak in terms of what the prospect gets while still being relevant to the search term. For example, if someone searches for a CPA firm near me, a mediocre headline is the #1 CPA firm. An outcome-focused headline is get a free business account audit and save on taxes. You state the outcome, but you also call out exactly who it is for so you don't pay for unqualified clicks. In this case, we specifically state get a free business account audit. We're telling the prospect that our company serves business clients. Now, to improve your landing page experience, the biggest thing you can do is not sending all your traffic and clicks to one generic homepage or landing page. Search match means sending specific keyword clicks to the specific landing pages that mirror that exact search. For example, if somebody searches for cybersecurity services, they shouldn't land on a generic page that says we help manage your IT. They should land on a page where the content is specifically for cybersecurity services. Google's algorithm actually scrapes your landing page to check for relevance and quality. If the keywords in your ad group aren't prominently featured on that page, your quality score drops, and that means your cost per click goes up. When we build search match pages, we routinely see cost per clicks drop by around 20 to 25% across the account. Plus, it's generally good advice to give people the thing that they search for so people don't feel deceived and believe you're the right solution for them. It's just better user experience and marketing. So now you're getting cheaper, highly relevant clicks. You have search match pages, but even then, if your landing page looks like like a Wikipedia article, those hard-earned visitors are going to hit that back button. As we mentioned, the average B2B landing page converts at around 3 to 4%. For every 100 clicks you pay for, 96 or 97 of them leave without doing anything. But top performers are consistently hitting that 8 to 15% conversion rates. The difference here isn't button colors or fancy animations. It comes down to 3 non-negotiables. Let's look at a landing page we did for a client AR workflow. The number one most impactful thing when it comes to conversion rates is that your headline must be outcome focused, just like we talked about for the ad copy, and it has to pass the 5-second test. If a visitor can't understand exactly what you do and what they get within 5 seconds, they're gone. For AR workflow, the headline is in accounts receivable management software. The headline is cut overdue invoices by 65% with automatic collections. We use quantifiable outcomes like the 65% there because based on our past A/B tests, quantifiable outcomes perform better. We don't need to be clever. We just need to be clear and use numbers when possible. Second, social proof must be visible above the fold, so above the scroll cutoff line here. Make your client logos and other third-party ratings like Trustpilot or G2 ratings immediately visible in the hero section. If you have testimonials, you want to front load them on the page, not put them at the bottom of the page where people drop off as they scroll. In our past A/B tests, front-loading social proof like this has won consistently, so we want to show visitors immediately that other people in their industry trust you. Last but not least, we want to proactively handle objections. Talk to your sales team. Find out the top reasons people say no on sales calls. Address those exact objections directly on the landing page. For example, AR Workflow is a finance-related software. A massive objection is security. So right now in our FAQ section, we explicitly answer questions like, how does AR Workflow keep my data safe? That way we handle the security objection before they even get on the call with the sales team. When we dialed in these elements for AR Workflow, their conversion rate improved by more than 30%. Conversion rate optimization is a massive topic. It involves data analysis and A/B testing. I actually have an entire video going into this topic. If you're interested, you can watch that here. Now they clicked on the ad, they loved the landing page, and they filled out the form. You got the lead, right? Not yet. The next step is where B2B companies lose up to 38% of their leads. The traditional contact us form where you collect the phone number, the email, the first name, last name, job title, creates massive friction for the prospects as they fill out the form. They fill it out, then they wait. According to Lean Data, the average B2B company takes 42 hours to respond to a new lead. And according to Chili Piper, 38% of these leads never reply. By the time your SDR reaches out, that prospect has already booked a call with your competitor. The data on this is brutal. Research from MIT found that responding to a lead within 5 minutes makes it 100 times more likely for them to respond than when the sales team reaches out after 30 minutes. They also found that 78% of customers buy from the first business that responds to them. So how do you fix this without hiring a 24/7 sales team? You kill the traditional contact us form. Instead, you build a booking tool like Calendly directly into the funnel. The second they submit their qualification info, the very next screen is a booking tool showing available spots in your sales team's calendar. You ask for a time while their pain is at its absolute peak. For the people who qualify but don't book right then and there, you trigger an automated no-book nurture sequence via email and SMS within 60 seconds to get them back on the calendar. Your calendar is full, but a booked call doesn't pay the bills. They actually have to show up. When we speak to B2B companies like professional service firms or SaaS companies, they tell us that recently no-show rates have climbed to 20 to 25%. And that's because we live in a very low trust marketing world. People are reached out to all the time. Every lead magnet download asks for contact information and an email. A form fill isn't much of a commitment to the prospect anymore. Every no-show is a massive risk to your ROI. You can't just send a calendar invite and cross fingers and hope for the best. You have to warm prospects up even before they show up to the call. That means you need an automated pre-call nurture sequence. Immediately after they book, send a confirmation email that includes a brief agenda for the call. Uncertainty causes no-shows and cold feet. Tell them exactly what you're going to cover so they feel safe showing up to the call. Make it sound human and natural, not like an automated reminder email. Just say something along the lines of, hey, so-and-so, thanks for booking a time with me on Thursday. Just wanted to send over a quick agenda for our call. We'll be covering 1, 2, 3 topics. Let me know if you have any questions before the call and I'd be happy to answer them. P.S. Here's a recent case study of an X client that we achieved Y result for. Then 24 hours before the call, you can send another quick reminder. According to usage data from scheduling platforms, a proper multi-touch reminder sequence cuts no-show rates by up to 50%. Now your funnel converts cost-efficient clicks into qualified attended calls, which is the only state where the next move actually works. You step on the gas with AI. This means switching to smart bidding strategies like max conversions or max conversion value. This allows Google's algorithm to automatically raise or lower your bids in real time based on the likelihood of the user converting rather than you manually guessing what a click is worth for that search term. Now, quick disclaimer, there are two strict requirements before you do this. First, you need to have enough data in the first place. Do you have an average of at least one primary conversion per day over the last 30 days? If not, the algorithm won't have enough data to work with. Second, and this is non-negotiable, you must have offline conversion tracking set up. If you just tell Google to get you more form fills, it will find you the cheapest, lowest quality leads on the internet. You have to feed your CRM data back into Google Ads and actually tell it, hey, this was a qualified sales lead, this wasn't. So the algorithm can actually optimize for sales qualified leads and not just random form fills. This is arguably the single highest leverage move in this entire blueprint. Most advertisers turn on smart bidding too early and they're not even targeting the right keywords. Their landing pages can't convert. Then feed it data from junk form fills and watch their cost per action skyrocket. But when you do build the foundation, you fix the CTR, the landing page, the booking rate, and the show rate, and then you feed that clean, closed-won data or qualified sales lead data back into Google, that's when you beat the big corporations on Google Ads as an underdog. Now, let me be straight with you. None of these single improvements make a dramatic difference, but you'd be surprised what happens when you stack them on top of each other. Before, you might be paying $20 for a click, converting at 2% with a 75% booking rate and a 70% show rate. That turns the $5,000 budget into a $250 profit. But after implementing this exact blueprint, you drop the cost per click to $16 with better ad copy and search match landing pages. You bump the conversion rate to 3.5% with conversion optimized landing pages. You increase the booking rate to 85% with direct calendar booking page and push the show rate to 80% with pre-call email nurture sequences. Now your profit multiplies to $17,203. That is what happens when you stack these small changes. You don't need to double or triple your ad spend. You just need 10% improvements at every stage. If you're a B2B business spending at least $5,000 a month on Google Ads or considering starting on Google Ads and you want us to apply this exact blueprint to your business for you so you can increase your book calls without increasing your budget, click the link in the description to book a strategy call with my team at Gro.X. If you want to see exactly how we build these high converting Google Ad landing pages I mentioned on step 3, click this video right here where I break down our entire B2B CRO framework. I'll show you exactly how to turn these expensive clicks into qualified leads. Click that now, and I'll see you in that video.